Okay. So yesterday I did the alpha test with my family, and it was good that the test was small because let's say, or let me just tell you, there was a lot of problems that I didn't really remember and didn't really think of. Most of them were with the sign up, so signing up for the app, which I haven't done that in a long time, so obviously that's or it makes sense that there was issues there. And quite it's one of those things I really don't like doing. Like the sign up thing is probably the most boring part of the app for me, or like any app. If there was a template or something that you could just like pull off the internet and not have to do anything with it, I would 100% use that because I don't really care about the sign up part. In the future, if the app becomes something that people actually use and it becomes big, then I would care more about it. But for an MVP, I could not care less about the sign up part. But there was a fair few problems with it. So I'm going to write all of these down, and then we're going to have to just tackle them because they're going to have to be taken care of before we go into like a beta test even, because sending this out to more people is going to create probably more problems. So one of the things is that when you sign up for the app, when you select your location and then you enter or you press enter, then when you get back to it, you don't see that you've set a location. You actually see your coordinates that you set, which no one really knows what coordinates they live at. So it's not very user friendly because you don't understand if you've set your location or not, because it just says random numbers. The sign up button doesn't work, is what I wrote down. And actually, I'll show you what I mean here. So we're going to sign out. And so here, this is what the sign in or sign up page looks like, but it's wrong because this big button here says sign up, not sign in, which means that you press down here if you already have an account. But what this should actually be is it should be the sign in page, and then it should say don't have an account, create an account or something, and then you get to the create an account page. Because this doesn't really make sense. Like if you have an account, you wouldn't press sign up here, and then after you've signed up, the email confirmation comes from Superbase, and it's also like it doesn't really work that well. Like when you press it, it opens up a browser window, and then it says that something didn't work, and then it goes to the app. It's a whole thing that doesn't really work. Plus, when you get back to the app, it just says the same thing that it said before. So let's actually do this. Let's just create an account using like test emailer at gmail.com and do 1 2 3 4 5 6 QH exclamation mark, and then we'll press sign up. Registration successful. First of all, why is this red? The red color automatically makes you think that there's an error, but there's no error. This worked, so it shouldn't be in red, but it is. So please check your email to confirm your account. Okay, great. So then you'd go to your email, see if you have that. But then once you've confirmed it in the email and then you go back into the app, you remain on this page, and then you can press sign in if you want to, and then you'll actually sign into your account. But that whole flow, I don't really know how to explain that to, because I'm going to explain it to Claude, but I don't know how to do that properly. And then we have problems with the edit profile page. You can't set your own age. So you can only set that when you're signing up for the app. But once you're in the app, you can't any longer set an age, which you might want to do. Um, and then we have to also add a report feature. And this is because there's child safety regulations, I think, for Google Play. So in order to, this is also a big problem. Google Play is super strict with their what they allow into the testing, whereas Apple is not at all strict with what they allow into testing. But they're really, Apple is on the other hand very strict about the apps that are allowed into the App Store after you've tested them and like you actually submit them for distribution. But Google Play is super strict about just getting it into like getting someone to test the app. So even if it's not available to everyone, just having people that like making it available to 10 specific email addresses like that, you can't do that. You have to create a complete store listing and all this information. You have to have screenshots of the app and blah blah blah. And it's just like, if you're trying to make an MVP, it's just so much effort for stuff that's not finished yet. So like you have to take screenshots of an app that's not even been like tested properly. It's not even ready for release, but you're already screenshotting and making all this effort for it. As you can tell, I'm frustrated about that. But they also had something which is like, because of the fact that they're so like strict with it, you have to have a report feature. This is something that I should have probably added anyway, because a report feature seems like a good idea. But so that is something that we need. You also need to be able to delete the account. I haven't even thought about that, but obviously the user should be able to delete an account if they feel like, well, I don't want my account anymore. They should be able to delete it. Um, so yeah, it's kind of, it sucks because I was like, so I felt like we're done, but I also was very much prepared for this. And this is what I do all the time with this stuff. I prepare myself for the fact that, or I make sure that I'm really aware that I have no idea when this is going to be done. And so I'm putting no like expectation on the fact that I'm done. My goal with this app, or my plan, is a long-term plan. I'm going to be working on this app for probably years. So I know that it doesn't really matter if I'm done with the app today or tomorrow. I just need to keep working on it. And I also know that I'm going to be running into these issues. Every time I think that I'm done with something, there is going to be bugs. There's going to be stuff that shows up that I'm not expecting and that I didn't know about. And that's how it works when you're building apps. So I I'm very much expecting this type of workflow, thinking that I'm done, realizing there's still way or a lot of stuff that needs to be polished, fixing those things, thinking that I'm done, and then realizing there's more stuff that I need to polish, fixing those things. Like that's going to be the process that we're going to go through here. But hopefully at some point we're going to get to the place where it's good enough to be released fully. Or I fully expect that we're going to get there at some point. But first, we need to take care of the basic stuff like signing up and all of that. So that's what we're doing today. Um, sign up um, button change. Okay, so I'm trying to think of like what, where, and how could we add a report feature here um, somewhere, and I don't really know because I'm thinking maybe we can add like an exclamation mark or something somewhere. Wait, yeah. So I'm just trying to think of like where could we add a exclamation mark or something that's just like report. We could have a third one in the middle here. I don't know if I like that, but we could have a third one in the middle. Because the thing is, we want to have a report feature in the profile page. So if you go to one of your matches and you check out their profile page, you'll see something like this. And here we'll have something like at the bottom here, there's an unmatch button where you can unmatch from the user. But next to that, we should also have a report feature so that you can report the user if you feel like they've been weird or something. And I the thing is just like I don't know if we add an exclamation mark to the leave button, that might be a thing that we could use. Like you press leave and then you get a window that pops up. You end the phone call, but then we get a window that pops up that's like, do you want to report this person? And if you press yes, then they will automatically get reported, and maybe you can add a note or something to it as well. But I don't know if we need something that's more clear than that. Like maybe you want something here that's very clear that like when you press the exclamation mark or when you press the button that says report, then you see that, or it's very obvious that you're going to be reporting this person. I don't really know. Here's where it's like the fact that I'm not a UI or UX expert is problematic. Let me ask Claude. Okay, so this might be a good idea. I don't know if it's like enough really, but um, what Claude suggests is just have a dot 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 thing at the right hand side. So like up here somewhere we'd have a dot 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 thing, and you can use that to report the person, which might be a good idea, um, actually. Because we don't want to, yeah, because then you press that button and a drop down comes down. It's like, do you want to report or something? Um, and then the user can select report, and the report flow will start. I think that's a pretty good idea. Yeah. Okay. So see if we can copy this and paste it into the note. Okay, so as you can tell, we have a fair amount of stuff that we need to do. But and we're going to start with the sign up part of the app, because right now the sign up part is the most important, I think. After sign up is pressed, it should move to the sign in page. Da, da, da. Okay, we're going to ask Claude about this. So I'm going to try signing up just to see what the user flow looks like. It seems like the what it says is that once you press the link, then you get to this little thing, this message, and this message says Safari cannot open the page because the address is invalid. I'm assuming that is because we haven't set an address for it to be sent to. Uh, Okay, let's try Mr. Claude. So basically, I got Claude to write me a prompt to fix the sign up thing so that we now use a magic link thing, which should redirect us into the app and open up or have us logged in, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to record my screen and sign up, or I'm not going to completely sign up for Hinge, but I'm just going to open Hinge to see what happens if we say create an account. Okay, so the first thing that comes up is phone number. What if my phone number changes? How do I check for security? Hinge does not allow a member to change their phone number linked to their account. Okay. Okay, so Hinge uses only phone number to sign up. Which I like because it adds some sort of verification for the person, which means that I. How does that work with testing? So when you're testing the app or when you're sending it in or submitting it for testing to Apple App Store or to Google Play, they have to be able to sign into an account. But then how do you do that when you have to use phone number verification? So let's ask. because I feel like I've sort of um, I don't know, breezed past or like skimmed past the whole sign up process of the app. And I figure if we're gonna redo this now, then we might as well just redo it properly. So yeah, for app review test, accounts with phone only authentication. Here's how developers handle it. Option one, test sandbox number most common. Configure special phone numbers in your backend that bypass verification. Okay. Pre-verified test account, phone number, study. Okay, so that's actually what I want to do. I want to use the phone number thing. So we're going to have to create an account at Twilio. And it's going to cost not that much, I hope. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to try to change this stuff now to make it use the phone number instead. Because I feel like since Hinge uses that, I feel like Hinge is a good dating app. It's high quality, I think. And they accept using just the phone number. So I think that's a good idea. and that's why I feel like we're going to use it. And yeah, I mean, we're going to just have to test this. We're also going to have to create an account on Twilio, so might as well do that. Twilio. I don't really know why, but for some reason it starts typing the text in the wrong thing. Even though I'm like obviously pressing stuff here, it still stays in the other thing. I don't know why. Twilio.com. Start for free. Then okay, we're gonna stop recording. No, am I not recording the screen? Oh, fuck, that sucks. But okay. I'm sorry for not having recorded the screen. I just realized. Ah, okay. All right, I was able to actually send myself a text message now from a number on Twilio, so that's good. Now we can create everything. Okay, I think we actually managed to make the sign in thing with the phone number, um, which is good. Now, the only thing is, how does it work? Well, um, mm, 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 mm. Okay, so I think that this is honestly the best way to deal with this stuff because we don't really want. I mean, phone number is something that's harder to fake. Like you can create a Gmail account by just going to Google right now, and you can create like 10 Gmail accounts if you want to, and you can sign into the app using those accounts. But if you have to use your phone number, then it's a little bit more difficult, at least, to create lots of phone numbers. Um, Not that much more difficult, but it is a little bit more difficult. It's enough, I think, to add a little bit of like what do you say? Like add a 10 foot or 1 foot obstacle to people, and you're gonna remove like 90% of everyone who'd want to just create spam accounts. So that's what we're doing. We're adding like a 1 foot hurdle, and that should hopefully help. But then we have the rest of the sign up process. I'm just trying to think, are we done now with that, or was there something else that we needed? How do you sign in when you already have an account? So I'm going to download the app again just to see how you sign in when you have an account. All right, I just gave it a big um, a big task. I'm going to record my screen. I should have done that before. Okay. So what I want to do is change this so that it looks better. Fuck, I forgot to tell it to fix the birthday thing, because right now when you're selecting your birth date, it's not obvious that this is a button even. But if you press it, you get to this page and it kind of, I think this is good enough. But what happens is if we type in a name and set a birthday and add a picture and then press next and then realize that, oh, actually I set the wrong name, and I go back. Actually that, for some reason it stayed now. Man, woman, okay, next. And now if I go back, for some reason everything's gone. So what I want is for this to stay in memory so that we don't, if the user goes back and forth between these steps, it doesn't just reset everything. So anyway, I gave Claude a really quite massive task of changing a bit of this, and I also asked it to make it look more clean and more aesthetically pleasing, which could be interpreted in any way, so I don't really know what that will do. But I'm going to try running the app again and see what happens. For some reason, I seem to be unable to just rerun it like this. It tends to break when I do that. So I have to clean the project and then run it again. Yeah, so it gives me this error, which I don't know what it even means. Okay, that was quite a long error. Cycle inside, blah, blah, could build, da, da, da. But whatever this means, which I don't really know what it means, if I just do Command Shift K and I clean, don't ask me again, and I clean the project and then I run it, it will now work. Or at least it's worked before. Okay, there was no back there, but okay, so let's see. Sign up button change, should say sign in. So this is done. This I think is done. After sign up is pressed, this we changed. So this is like not even a worry anymore, which is good. So all of these tasks have been taken care of. And the message I just sent was to take care of these messages or these tasks. Okay, let's try to run this and see what it did. Okay, so now we set first name, select your birthday. That was actually way better. And it starts at 2000, which is also more reasonable, I guess. Profile picture, we'll add that, and it's processing the image. Image uploaded successfully. Next. Select your gender, man. I mean, this looks way better. I don't know why I find this so like satisfying, but this looks so much better than what it just looked like. Um, this is why like Claude and all these AI things are so good because it's just one command and it makes it look like this. I would not have made it look like this. I probably would have made it look like what it looked like before, which sucked. And this just so much cleaner, so much like it feels almost like a breath of fresh air, or like the design feels like I can breathe, if that translates in any sort of way of what kind of feeling I get when I'm using this layout instead of the previous one. And I'm interested in women. And location, we're just going to set it as New York for now. Okay, New York, perfect. And then about me, tip, share what you're passionate about or what you're looking for in a connection. Again, I mean, we could change that, of course, but that's fine, I think. And then we can go back and we can say, oh, well, actually, this might not be. But then there's a back button there too, so we're going to have to change that. But I mean, I'm so happy in this. I don't know why it just makes me so happy. I feel like, well, I know why. The reason is because I hate doing sign up stuff. I just don't like it because I'm not good at it. So it just usually doesn't look very good, and it's not much, I don't think it's that much fun to work on. And now it just looks so much better and makes so much more sense. Thank God, because this is like something that I didn't really want to do. I probably could have changed this myself because I'm going to assume it's not even that difficult. Yeah, they just removed that button. I could have done that, but anyway. Perfect. Now it has everything. So command clean. Clean succeeded, and then we run. So that means that we've taken care of this. 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 So we're really blasting through these tasks now. Now the next step is going to be to add a report feature and fix account deletion. This also, because we're using phone number verification now, we're removing the need to have like password resets and a lot of stuff that just isn't really, I mean, it's not needed. I do need to check how on sign up, what happens when you press sign in. So I need to check that thing. I need to remember to do that. But I mean, today's been such a productive day. Add a profile picture. Next, select gender. Well, we're a woman now. We're interested in men. Next, about me. I like to do the sometimes but sometimes I don't. Create profile. Let's just check that we do have our profile. We have a profile. Okay, sign out. Yes, sign out. And then we end up here. So that's good that we checked that. But I guess the hard thing is to stop when things are going kind of good, which they are now. Because it's just like you just want to add another thing, another thing, another thing, and you just don't really know when to cut yourself off. And this is also something that I actually thought about this morning, which is the power of deadlines. And because there's this quote from someone, I don't know if it's like Albert Einstein, Newton, or like Thomas Edison or something. It's someone, and the quote is like, work expands to fill the time allotted for it. And so that's what I try to keep in mind. That's why I do these like 3-hour sessions. I sit down, I give myself 3 hours, 9 until 12, and then all I do is just work on the app. I try to make as much progress as possible. And the idea is to give myself a little bit of a deadline, like I'm only allowed to be here um, until 12. Now it's like 12:21, so it's like past that time, but the idea for me is to try to compress as much work as I can into the shortest amount of time possible. Uh, Similar to how I think everyone is familiar with this, where you've had like an essay or an exam or something, and you didn't really study as much as you thought you should have, and all of a sudden the night before you just have to cram everything in, and for some reason you pass the exam the next day, or you finish the essay in like 3 hours that you thought should have taken you like 3 weeks to do. And I try to kind of live by that, if that makes sense. Like I try to, as much as possible, if you ask my friends, I think they all know that I almost take that to the extreme sometimes. Like I think it was Tim Ferriss some has some like quiff or like a word or a sentence that he kind of uses to reframe things. And I think this is probably the one that I've used the absolute most in every area of my life. But it's basically something like, if you only had, how would I do this if I only had like an hour to do it, let's say. So let's say that you have a project and you think that this is going to take 10 hours. Reframe it by thinking, how could I do this if I only had 1 hour? How would I get it done? And the reason that that is so valuable is because you just start thinking of things. You start realizing, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't spend an hour rephrasing this particular sentence. Maybe I should just move on to the next sentence and like keep going. And you find shortcuts and you find things that might conventionally seem like a bad idea because you're like, well, you're taking shortcuts. That's not good. But in certain circumstances, it's really good to kind of push yourself to get things done a lot faster, because usually you can get things done way faster than you think if you just reframe it and try to look at it in a different way. Um, and that, I think, comes back to the idea that work does expand to fit the time allotted for it. If you think you need 10 hours to do this, then you're not going to be like hyper focused, hyper productive every single second, because every single second doesn't count as much as it does if you only have like 10 minutes to get it done. If you have 10 minutes, then you literally cannot breathe too much because you need to get it done. And I think it's very useful, or a useful tool, and I try to use it. So now what happens when we press sign in? We get the phone number thing. Um, And if we create account, we get the same thing here. Sweden, we can create our account. Okay. So I think that's going to be it for today. I'm going to commit all of this stuff. Git status, git dot git commit, login flow is done. Because now we actually took care of this too. So now what I need to do is I need to try to sign up. Sign up to the app, then log out and sign in. So that's what we need to do in the next video. But this is very exciting because it's like something that I've dreaded a lot is the sign up thing. Also because I dreaded like accidentally breaking something, which I feel like there's a high probability of doing that when you're doing this sort of stuff, but it seems like we haven't so far. So this is really good. Now we really only have the report feature and account deletion stuff. That's like the main things that we really need to get done. And then once that's done, we are done. And we can probably get it up to Google Play and to the App Store and out to testers, which might be something that we could do together. If you are interested in being a tester, that might be a possibility. And in that case, I think we're going to do a live test. So a live stream, I'm going to do a live stream and we're going to test the app out with whoever is on the live stream. They're going to get a link to test the app. And ideally, we could get a lot of people on the app at the same time using the voice feature. And then we could really test the matching functionality and just essentially hunt for bugs. That's what we're going to be doing. But thank you so much for watching, and I'm super excited about this. So we'll see you in the next one.